Grass evolved around the turn of the era, when the Mesozoic slowly faded away into the Cenozoic, which we currently reside in. And that was pretty much the only thing that happened during this switch between time periods, and nothing else of note needs to be mentioned. As the fifth largest plant family, and with one of the most common distributions in the entire modern world, chances are if you look out your nearest window at this moment, you're going to see some grass. Thankfully, as global warming puts the world's weather in further and further flux, we are more and more likely to see grass year-round across the globe. This is obviously nothing but a boon for us as a species, and we will have zero harmful effects on the greater stage that is this planet. Due to this news, there's a great deal of grass pretty much everywhere you look. And since it's perfectly safe to eat, this could further extrapolate that part of a healthy and diverse human experience would be to touch grass. That's right, through exercise, picnicking, even just laying down, touching grass is easier to do now than it was 67 million years ago. Wonderful, isn't it? Well, anyway, I've touched zero grass this past month, despite owning a dog that constantly wants walks. Because I've been busy playing Fortnite. Fortnite Battle Royale! It's my favorite game mode inside of one of my favorite franchises, so I'm bound to play it. Maybe even play a bit too much, if you know what I'm saying. Sometimes I'll even spend funny little fake currency on it to enhance my enjoyment of the game. Mostly to get skins, since backblings are lame and I only feel the urge to purchase a glider once in a blue moon. Skins can do all sorts of stuff in this game. They can react to eliminations or time passing by in matches. They get customized a little bit, or sometimes a lot, look like one of your favorite characters ever, and make your mind run wild with the imagination of it all. They can even affect outside gameplay. You know, there's so much. And they can make you go fucking insane. What am I talking about? Well, a select few skins in Fortnite do something pretty cool and unique for this point in the franchise's timeline. They record how good you are at the game. Yup, Odyssey, Drakon Steel Rider, and Felina. All of these skins can unlock new styles that let everybody know just how cool you are about this whole winning competitions thing. And even after new skins with this same ability are released, you never lose the bragging rights of the styles you already earned on past skins, a forever testament to your performance. The catch is, of course, that this performance style idea only starts bearing fruit if you played Ranked in Fortnite, a subsection set of modes that track your victories and otherwise good performance to easier match-up players of similar skill against you. Although there have been prizes tied to performing well in Ranked in the past, they've usually only been sequestered to certain modes, been unimpressive and borderline useless, or are tied to only the most astronomically high standards of gameplay, so much so that it doesn't matter to anyone but the best of the best. In fact, only just this year have there been skins tied to Ranked that aren't rewards for being the top 0.0001% of players in a tournament. Odyssey and Drakon Steel Rider were released somewhat in the middle of their respective seasons, Myths and Mortals and Wrecked, where they were released in the shop for 1,500 V-Bucks a pop, or $15 for you Americans out there, or 222,210 yen for you Japanese out there, or 3,139,605.09 Myanmar Kyat for you Myanmar out there, or $15.07 for you Americans out there. In that order, actually. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but $15 feels like a lot of money for a cosmetic that shows off your glorified position in an erroneous pissing contest. And that had been my opinion for about 7 or 8 months now, since those skins came out anyway. What's the point in buying a cosmetic that has like 4 styles locked behind a barrier that about 80% of the user base can't even get? Keep in mind, that's the approximate 80% that even participates in Ranked. God forbid one of your favorite styles for these skins is behind one of the more hyper-competitive ranks. Sure, it's easy enough to rank up from bronze to maybe gold or platinum, but not even a full 10% of all ranked players even get to elite. And there's still 2 more rankings past that. Only about 1.4% of ranked players get to Unreal, the highest ranking in the Fortnite franchise so far. And yes, There's new styles for these ranked skins for every new uniquely named rank. Ranks that reset every time a season ends. Meaning that not only do players who want the cool crystalline green Drakon Steel Rider or the Honey Ochre Odyssey need to surmount millions of other players to get all the styles, even if they only want to get up to Diamond, it's still millions of players. But there's now also only a 3-month time period for them to reach that desired rank, on top of them not even knowing if they'll want the ranked skin or the style, before all of it is swept under the rug and thrown to the wind, and they lose all chances of getting any more styles. Where are my numbers? What are my sources? Well, FortniteTracker.com and my own graph work. Yeah, this shit took like 2 hours to throw together, because I had to type out and double check most of the raw data myself. I'm glad I knew how to use spreadsheet shortcuts, or else it probably would have taken me another hour after that, so I just don't want to participate in ranked skins. Done deal, is it not? Maybe if they were free, like I'd heard Odyssey was originally planned to be from leakers, then I could put a couple hours into getting up to Platinum or whatever, and bask in the glow of a job well done. But, nah, $15 for only half of the styles just isn't worth it for me. Oh, what's that? Spooky Scary Robot Cat is coming out with an absolutely killer blue-purple style? Dude, that's so cool. When can I get... Oh, it's a ranked skin. Yeah. Oh, and the cool style is for Unreal. Man, that's lame. I mean, thankfully, it'll be $15, and since that barrier's there to stop my unhealthy completionist mindset and deep desire to have the cool glowy thing, I would never spend the money on it, because that's just so silly and such an unrealistic expectation. She'll be free. After 50 levels? And this is modern Fortnite, so you make like 5 levels a day? And now it's worse because I'm repeating everything you say into the microphone? Well, oh, I suppose I could level up pretty high in Battle Royale. Oh, but no, I'm no good at building and edits and 90s and taking pieces. I'm actually pretty ass at it. And ranked 0 build is just, good God, I'm a fucking deer in headlights for split decision making and positioning and all that shit. Well, I guess I'll just have Platinum Felina. That's fine, I suppose. Oh, what's that? Convenient leaker voice in my head. She's a skin for every ranked mode in Fortnite. Meaning, oh. Oh my. Hey, I like car games sometimes. I don't mean to brag, but I got first place in 50 through 150cc in Mario Kart 8 with every character. So I think I know what I'm doing. I got back. I got the champion. Oh, fucking fuck. Oh my fucking God. Okay. I can't stop here. I'm like 25% through. Oh man, I could make it. I could really get there. Okay. I gotta go back to Unreal. I gotta get back for Unreal. I gotta do it. I can do it. It's just like a grind. I just gotta go with the grind. Okay, wish me luck. Wish me luck, guys. I'm gonna make it. I promise. I'll be right back. I don't have footage. Please do not ask. I'm a damn Switch player with 3 videos on my channel, and my 6 or 7-year-old computer just did the fucking aesthetic glitchy thing, and I still have to use it. Do you think I've got a fucking capture card or something? Nah, man. So I don't have any proof, besides screenshots and this footage of me hitting Unreal with a 3rd place. Alright, thank fucking Christ I'm about to be over with this shit. Look at this. It's the most fucking horseshit game I've ever played in my entire goddamn life. Yeah, 4,630, that's where I'm gonna end. This is bullshit. But I'll play one more race. Why not? Why fucking not at this point? See if I can drop rank. Oh, I hate this. Rocket Racing has a problem. And by Rocket Racing has a problem, I mean Fortnite has a problem. Whose bright damn idea was it to make ranked skins never earn their other styles after the season they're assigned to is over? It's not like people are going to care about your performance in past seasons, especially in a year or two when this shit stretches out and we get Super Goku 20 whose hair changes color to match your rank, and it's season 70 of ranked battle royale, and like people have forgotten that Drakon Steel Rider and Odyssey and Felina even existed, you know? And it's not like the prestige of achieving Unreal in whatever current season it is isn't still enough of a flex for the players who care about flexing. Who gives a damn if people get all of their money's worth when a season ends and Drakon Steel Rider suddenly gains 6 styles in somebody's locker? Hey buddy, look, I don't judge. I get it. Some of us only get to gold. It makes sense. Gold 2, that's a nasty hump, especially if you're playing Reload. Jesus Christ. Me personally, I think all ranked styles should be earned after the season is over. Or maybe a year after it's over, just in case people really want to complain about showing off how cool their ranked performance was. Good for you guys. You got to Elite. You got some like wispy glows. Well, I got to Unreal through Rocket Racing, and the grind isn't worth it. I didn't feel vindicated with a job well done, and cool styles like this that I would have paid the $15 for should never be locked behind a month's hell in a cell treatment of grinding in a competitive mode. Now, let's talk about Rocket Racing's 3 big problems. And furthermore, why I will not be playing more Rocket Racing of any kind until these things are fixed. This is a ranked mode. You want to be on the podium to score high and gain tons of points to level up. It's pretty simple. In Rocket Racing, there's 4 places that, due to the layout of the results screen, ostensibly count as the winning spaces. So it's pretty simple, right? First probably gets like 10 points, then second gets 5th, third gets 2 or 3, and fourth probably only gets like 1%, right? And then the last 4 places lose about the same amount of rank, but, you know, in reverse, like a respective mirror sort of thing. No, they don't do that. Nobody knows how placement works in Rocket Racing. Here, I'll ask esports.gg, one of the leading sources for internet info about esports games. We'll see what they have to say. Well, it says here that completing races will change your ranking. It's also talking about what all the ranks are. Did you know that Platinum rank has 3 stages? Yeah, it's weird. I always thought of Platinum as a more dual-leaning rank, but maybe that's just me. Okay, how progression works in ranked. Progression in the Rocket Racing ranked mode is as simple as performing well in those races. The higher you place, the more ranking points you will earn. What does season 0 mean? None of that matters. Okay, cool. That's literally all this article says. Race and get good. Cool. So anyways, that's the most in-depth any of these corporate journalism sites try to go, and in fact most cover decidedly less than what esports.gg did. Even Epic Games won't explain what I'm asking, and they're the people asking me to play this fucking mode. I went on Reddit. Oh, will you just shut up? The only post on r/Rocket Racing I could find on the subject, which is alarming since Reddit is maybe the 3rd most thorough website to ask a research question on, behind 4chan in 2nd place for specifically people's addresses and reverse image searching and leaks for entire terabytes of global franchise data, and like 3-year-old posts on Quora of past concerned human beings in 1st place. But this had the user Perfect Parfait 980 saying, Alright, I am at a complete loss. How exactly do Rocket Racing ranked points work? It seems the percentage gained for placement is completely random. I am in Diamond 2 currently, just had a series of games where I placed 6th, gained 2%. Next game I placed 1st, gained 0%. Next game I placed 3rd and gained 2%. Then placed 6th again and gained 1%. It makes 0 sense, and I'm just trying to comprehend and feel my hair turning gray from it. LOL. Then, the only 2 comments on this post said, the 0% is a bug and your ranking is based on the number of players on the map. And the other said, it's based on your place and people in the match, but the percentage is very low and it's really annoying ranking up. But there were 0 concrete numbers and only observations that I've already realized. I was hoping there'd be a mod response or maybe even somebody coming in clutch with game data. But instead I learned that the post was archived because somehow nobody had any input on this topic in the 8 months since the post was made. Well, I'll go fuck myself, shall I? In my own experience, early rankings will get you 20, even 40 bombs for first place. And then somewhere along the way, in these upper numbered ranks, the first place points will only give about 10. And then, like Elite, it's just single digits for victories. And by Champion, I was only gaining a couple % per first place. And since I was obviously not winning every single race, I was more often getting 1, or even worse, a genuine fraction of a % for 2nd through 5th, in which my rank made the sound of going up, but the number never changed. I kinda saw the dial move, but frankly it was so little that I could have been hallucinating it with stress. And honestly, unrelated to rank percentage yields, because obviously scoring low will drop points, I feel like we know that, sometimes cataclysmically with like a -10 that will take even with exclusively first places, like half an hour to recuperate. I want to say it was genuinely a rare sight to be in a race of a full 12 drivers in Champion. Maybe it's just that I was playing late at night on European servers, and maybe Europeans are busy clubbing and shit instead of Fortnite racing, but I was consistently in races that only started with 6 or 7 racers, which actually left me either forced to make top 3 to gain any rank at all, or risk 4th and 5th place, normally perfectly fine placements that would decrease my rank a little because this race was severely underpopulated. At that point, I would have taken a lobby of half hyper-focused bots programmed to ace every turn and jump, because at that rate, I could have at least maybe placed a safe 6th place where I at least wouldn't have lost everything and could have skated by to the next race for maybe a bit of better luck. I swear, a racing sim should never require that much resourcing awareness. Rocket Racing's physics engine and track mapping are inherently broken, and if racers who don't want to bunny hop try racing normally, sometimes even their tried and true paths betray them in their hour of need and ruin the race. Not like it's unfair, because sometimes people know the shortcuts, or get that nifty little starting boost to 100% without everybody doing the same, as that's a matter of equal chance, which is how competitive modes should always be. No, my issue is that Rocket Racing just does not work, and it's so fundamentally broken that it doesn't work in completely different ways for each and every player.
Okay, what the fuck is going on right now? What is happening? What the actual fuck just happened? What the fuck?
I played Rocket Racing with this wheel and completely broke the game. Oh. Okay, never mind, I'm off-road. Can I go off-road without dying? Oh my god, I can go off-road. Wait, what? You can go off-road? Okay, well not anymore, I guess.
It's not that hard to see this game has terrible mapping. and glitches to do with things like car weight and barriers. Maybe the worst glitches I've ever seen in a racing game, a genre that I've been rather accustomed to since I was a small child, and therefore have gotten to see a bit of a history in my 20 years of existing.
Give me one day. I will fix the rocket racing issues. Watch this. Hold on. What is this? Here's how you fix it. Have a barrier like Mario Kart. It's that simple. What is this? Why can't I just fly around? They're trying too hard to make it Rocket League. Like, actually.
Frankly, it's pathetic how many issues this mode can have. Look here. This guy is just trying to turn a corner, and he fucking slips on himself like a banana peel was laid before him. What are you gonna say get good to? Like this? Is it not directly this game's fault for having such a poorly mapped track that even the blacktop makes a player critically fuck up like this? That's an absolutely miserable 5th place finish after what was an insane lead. And what, are you gonna say, well, at least starting the race isn't glitchy? Well, you're wrong. Oh, you're very wrong. Oh, you're so wrong. This sort of nonsense happens like every 3 matches in ranked, sometimes 2. Not even speedrun is safe, and although it isn't ranked, it's still indicative of how poor the entire rocket racing experience plays. Just doing a quick jump from barrier to barrier? No. Experience phasing through the atoms of solid materials at an alarmingly common rate. Or what about here? This innocent barrier ledge meant to simply denote the edge of the blacktop for those with dark screens or poor lighting in their gaming cave. Well, what if this easily driftable ledge kills you? And this clip speaks for itself. No weird controller movements, no awkward vehicle model clipping into structures. Hate the Cybertruck all you want. It's succinct and just fucking devoid of detail. There is nothing to want to fucking pay attention to on this thing. This is a ramp that is clearly meant to be sat and boosted on. And this guy fucking crashes. But they don't even crash, like, immediately, so that hopefully they can respawn and get right back into the action. Lo and behold, most of the map has no entity barrier and is just set dressing without a physical presence at all. So now they watched this whole freakish sequence just for everybody to drive past them, maybe even to an unregainable extent. Look, I can learn obstacle patterns for these, later tracks that are more bullet hell than race circuits. I can handle trial and error with new shortcuts that I have to lose a match for first because it took me 3 laps to realize the 2 people always in front of me stayed ahead because they drove through what looked like a solid wall. I should not be risking last place because I drifted in just the wrong way on visually flat terrain, or experienced just the most mind-boggling strobe light crash sequence that only serves to remind me that all screens are just lights flashing in a pattern, all because this game is mapped like a fucking burlap sack that someone poked holes into. This is no longer like a skill issue where I have to get good. This is the game having just serious problems that it feels like Epic Games is not trying to fucking fix.
Mario Kart Wii! Woohoo!
Since I don't want to just be a Debbie Downer, here's my tier list of opinions on every rocket racing track in Season 2, as well as my opinions on my top and bottom 3. And I was prepared to, miss out on a season's worth of new tracks, but it looks like Fortnite just gave up on rocket racing beyond crowdsourcing creative maps. So I suppose this might be an entirely comprehensive list of my top and bottom 3 for maybe the rest of Rocket Racing's existence. Number 3, worst, Basalt Burrow. Boost pads were not made to be placed on pedestals slightly larger than they are themselves. The amount of times you will crash on this track without perfect turns or a memory of what comes next in this 7-segment track is actually just astoundingly infuriating. Number 3 best, Anaconda. Anaconda is just a perfect racetrack. A couple shortcuts, a couple places to really pick up between, drifting it out or boosting through. Like, you really gotta, figure that one out right off the top of your head. And to top it all off, it's my favorite jungle map. even if it goes a little easy on the foliage compared to some other tracks that are not good. Number 2 worst, Cliff Runner 2. At least one of these harder tracks that are just a glorified bash your opponent into a hazard fest had to be here, and this one's the worst for sure. There's no satisfying jumps, there's no shortcuts that make you feel clever for nailing, it's just a damn struggle. Like you're getting dragged into hell and you have to climb your way out of that shit. Top it off with the lame-ass beginning where you either keep your joystick completely still or zigzag obnoxiously through a maze of beams, followed by an actual forced zigzag leading into another maze, all of this having the clunky road mapping I just complained about before. And this is all without any sort of natural racing gameplay. It takes this long before you get to a normal race. Dude, fucking gag me. I don't care. Number 2 best, Borealis. Dude, this map is it's just sloppy Drift City. Although I may complain about poor physics in a lot of these roads, Borealis is a map that just doesn't bother me in the slightest. In a few places, there's some like dodgy roading, but that's on the off-road track sections where it's bound to be a little wonk, you know? And just by judging, the wonk is always on purpose and shown consistently and clearly to prevent crashes or spin out from observant drivers who are paying attention to the track ahead. Number 1 worst, Riviera. Speedrun casuals know why this is a curse on the human psyche, although I imagine competitive racers understand it perfectly well too. There's just something like debilitating about this track. It goes from simple drifts and a bit of point turning to nonsense, like the longest stretches of narrow road you've ever seen, where you can't really drift, and even if you save your turbos for this segment, that won't matter, because other players boost ahead of you already in other parts of the track you can turbo through, so now you only barely catch up to them before they whip away from you again. Then there's the whole matter of jumping through all the skinny little castle gaps in the middle of the track where, if you do manage to make it through perfectly, you're a full half of a minute ahead of everybody else. And yet if you mistime even a single jump, turbo at the wrong time, or hit the bumper of your car on even just the edge of a gate, it'd just make way more sense to take the tunnel, jump off that turret, and grab the 2 boost pads on the 2 sides of the waterfall next to the fishing village. And no, don't fucking come to my comments and say this is risk-reward mapping. This isn't risk-reward mapping. Risk-reward mapping is Bone Cavern 1, offering a slow drive on the ceiling, or fast-paced booster ramps that exhilaratingly threaten your life. Risk-reward mapping is Pond Jumper 2, asking you to choose between the relatively safe tunnels and the constant finger spam of these hurdle hazard boost pads. Risk-reward mapping is these 2 stupid boost pads on the roof of the castle in K2 Raceway Do that I've seen one person ever hit. They left me in the dust for my just astonished second place. I don't know where that guy is now, but he's a fucking beast. Anyways, this track, this one, Riviera, it's fucked. I hate it. Number 1 best, Seaside Farms. Oh my days. The open beginning, the second segment having a choice of high or low, the jump drift necessary to prepare yourself for the absolutely insane chain of jumps, anchors, boost pads, and turbos to throw you into the next lap to completely overcome that previous open beginning at like 3 times the speed. Why, I could care less about what the track looks like when it feels this good. I could play this track for hours just trying to get the perfect rhythm. This video originally wasn't meant to be me just talking about how bad rocket racing is. I was just gonna air out some complaints about locking super cool Felina's styles behind being the top 2% of competitive Fortnite players, and then it kinda just turned into me having to explain why I was so upset about that instead of just getting good, because every competitive game ever is just full of the most brain-rotted, skull-to-wall bashers in the world who only know how to repeat that sentence like a mantra. As someone who had to deal with the sledgehammer to forehead gameplay of ranked rocket racing firsthand, I don't think get good is really something people can say in good faith anymore, as if that's any surprise at all. Competitive gaming has once again proved it's the masochist's sport, and I was fool enough to let it step all over me. Or rather drive all over me. This is nobody's fault but my own, and at least I have Unreal Felina to remind me of the month of nights where I'd get so mad I got dizzy, but also refused to stop playing because maybe next match would be better. But hey, even if you guys don't want to play ranked, Felina is currently free to anybody willing to level up 50 times in Fortnite right now, and her skeletal robot aesthetic fits perfectly into Pokemon and the current Fortnitemares event. She's even got a pickaxe that goes with her that you unlock even earlier at only 25 levels, so it's not like she'll look awkward and out of place with whatever cosmetics you've got. Trust me, it's easier to level up than it sounds, especially if you haven't played at all this season, since there are so many quests to roll around in. I wouldn't be surprised if just the XP from the weekly Battle Royale quests alone would be enough to throw you up like 25 levels in a day. And, well, for those of you who didn't take my warnings to heart, Felina does get some pretty sick styles in ranked, as you can see here. And let's just say, some modes are easier to rank up in than others. I can't in any good conscience recommend a mode, but you've got Rocket Racing, like I mentioned, as well as Battle Royale and Reload in both builds and zero builds flavors, all under the ranked umbrella to really give you all the chances you could want to rank up. Ranks are individual to each of these modes, however, and they don't build off of each other, but any of their highest rankings will give Felina new styles. I've even heard that Felina is going to gain ranked styles forever as long as you continue to earn higher ranks between every season, although I imagine I don't have to tell you that obviously your rank resets every season for these modes, and that'll make regaining and surpassing ranks complicated and stupid, and I really just don't recommend you playing ranked. But I should probably close out the video, you know what I mean? Yeah.
A few moments later.
Hey, I was gonna finish the video here, but evidently there's been a glitch going around, which reverts all rank denoting cosmetics to a strict bronze rank. So yeah, knowing Epic Games' way of dealing with glitches, it's a 50-50 chance whether I've lost all this progress and this skin is going in the back of my locker where I'm not disgusted to look at it. Or this will be fixed in a few weeks without anyone getting notified. And before you say, oh, just be grateful, you got a free skin, I won't have it. I spent a month of my life that could have been used playing other games, scripting and editing videos, or even just going outside and touching grass, and instead wasted it in this dreg of a fucking competitive game mode. That's not free. That's a month of my life. So don't be me, you know? Go out and have fun with friends or family, and remember to put in for mail-in ballots this month, or go out and vote next month for you Americans in the chat. I promise it won't cost $15.
Happy Fortnitemares and happy Halloween! Mwahaha!